Hello students. In today's class we are going to continue with chapter number 8 of our class 10th science NCERT textbook, How Do Organisms Reproduce. So in the last class we studied about the introduction and we studied about sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In today's class we will continue with the same topic, that is sexual reproduction in plants. As you can see, this is the microscopic view of a pollen grain. How do it look? You can see over here. These are how the pollen grains look. Small structures like dots like structures, they are there. Then here, as I told you, the process of sexual reproduction in plants. How do they undergo reproduction? That is just discussed in this presentation. So here, pollination is transfer of pollens from anther to stigma of a flower. As I told you that the stamen, which is the male part of plant, consists of anther and filament. The anther, which is present at the top, it produces pollen grains, and it transfers the pollen grains consist of germ cells, and these germ cells are transferred to the stigma. So the pollination is the process in which the pollens are transferred from anther to stigma of a flower. Now, as I told you, it can be self or cross pollination depending upon the type of plant. If the pollination occurs in the same flower, it is self pollination. If it occurs in two different flowers, then it is known as cross pollination. Now the process, as I told you, that through any agency pollen is deposited on stigma of a flower. If it undergoes cross pollination through wind, water or animals, the pollen grains which produces the male germ cells, these pollen grains are transferred to the stigma of another flower. So there the pollens get deposited, and on stigma it absorbs some nutrients and swell up. So here from stigma the pollen grains form a long tube. It gives a long tube this long tube, here this is the stigma, here the pollen grains get deposited, and from here it gives a long tube, and through the style it moves to the ovary. It goes to the ovary. So due to which its exine ruptures and intine protrudes to form long tube. So the pollen grains, they have two parts, exine and intine. So when the pollen grains are moved, that time the exine ruptures, means it breaks down, and intine protrudes, and it forms a long tube. This way it forms a long tube, and this is the two sperm nuclei are formed, and this is the tube nucleus. So this tube nucleus is present in the pollen grain over here, and this is the generative nucleus which are present over, two generative nucleus are there. This is the pollen grain plus pollen tube. This way it forms a long tube, and this tube moves through the style to the ovary, and this pollen tube grows day by day and finally enters embryo sac. This is the pollen tube, this is the pollen grain, stigma, and through the style this pollen tube. These are the two sperm nuclei. Through the style it enters the embryo sac, and through micropyle, this is the micropyle, a small hole like structure is there. Through this micropyle it enters. So this way, through this micropyle it enters in the embryo sac, and it pours all its contents. What are its contents? Two male gametes and the tube cell which is there. It pours into this embryo sac. So this way it looks like this is the pollen grain and this is the stigma, and during this process the exine of the pollen grain ruptures and the entine protrudes, and that's why when it protrudes it gives us two generative sperm cell, plus it gives us the tube cell. So this way, through this tube, through style, this long tube, it enters, this is the pollen tube, it enters to the ovary, and then through the micropyle it enters to the embryo sac. This is the embryo sac, and here it enters, and there it gives out all its contents, that is the two male gametes which it carries, two male germ cells and the tube cell. It gives out all in this embryo sac, and in this embryo sac egg and polar nuclei are already present, and these male gametes, when they are poured in this embryo sac, there only with the egg cell it undergoes the reproduction or fertilization process, and it gives us a zygote which is capable of growing into a new plant. So this was reproduction in flowering plants. With this we complete our today's class. That's all for today. Thank you and have a great